We're gonna talk about props for the male antagonist.
Yeah, so we wanted the antagonist to wear dark clothing to represent that his persona is really dark and it's like evil, and when you see him you just know that he's the antagonist, compared and juxtaposed to the female victim who's wearing white and cream colours.
Yeah, so we wanted the antagonist to have like a dark jacket, probably like a long trench coat kind of thing, maybe. Yeah. We wanted to conceal his identity, so we'll have like maybe a pair of black gloves, like.
We said that we were going to have leather gloves already in a previous post, and we were inspired by Silas in Hollyoaks, who was another murderer, and he was a serial killer who killed girls if they'd done things that he didn't agree with.
So yeah, we'll have black gloves and a mask on his face to conceal his identity, which won't be removed at all throughout the whole film.
Yeah, and that was inspired by some target audience research that we had, and they said that they really liked Freddy Krueger's mask and Nightmare on Elm Street, and they found it really entertaining, and it added suspense when they were watching the film, as they didn't know who it was. So that's why we thought we'd include one.
What else? Right, props that he could be carrying. He could have like a shovel with him when he's walking through a forest. Because it like kind of implies that he's going to be burying the bodies or something.
Yeah.
Or like maybe a weapon as well. He could be carrying a weapon, maybe a piece of rope or a knife.
Or maybe he could like just put one in his pocket so the audience knows that he's got one, but then the victim wouldn't know.
From our characterisation questionnaire, the audience said they wanted like a hand weapon or something, or a knife and stuff. Yeah. Oh, and in the opening sequences, we should have beer and cigarettes on the table, like maybe a cigarette just going out, so it's still kind of lighted.
Yeah, and the smoke will
so smoke's going to smoke up the room, and
it will make it all misty.
Yeah. So and it will also imply that he's like rough and kind of let himself
He's
go.
Not someone that you wouldn't really want to associate yourself with being like a nice person.
And because the location's going to be in like a dingy place.
And that also goes with ideologies and stuff, that people that smoke and drink a lot are bad people. That's like represented in the media a lot.
Yeah.
Like moral panics and stuff like that.
What else?
I don't know. Just trying to picture what he'd look like. Oh yeah, we said that we may have a hoodie or something that he could wear, so he could put it up, and then it would conceal his identity a bit more, and then it would go with teenage moral panics and the stuff which is like represented in the media a lot for teenage youth, but that could imply the age, or it could imply like a false representation of his age to further exaggerate the mysterious figure that he is.
Because like this antagonist is going to be quite old-ish. He's going to be like a bit like
Silas.
A bit like Silas from Hollyoaks, or like what's his name from the Lovely Bones.
Oh yeah.
And pretty much every antagonist we see is old.
Yeah.
So we'll have him quite old, but like you won't really be able to tell that much.
Not until like the later narrative.
But like his dress would be quite old-fashioned. Like so he'll have like a trench coat or something really old, and like maybe some really like worn-out big boots. Yeah, boots for him.
Yeah.
Like really worn-out big boots.
I thought that we might use like Doc Martens or something, because they significantly imply like a lower class. They're like working man shoes.
And like that can be really like, it could be some good camera angles, like close-ups as you're walking through the forest floor.
Yeah.
Make it look pretty good.
And that will create suspense when you see his shoes, because you know that it's him. And if he's following someone like this scene we have where it's the victim's shoes followed by the antagonist's shoes, it will just create suspense, because everyone knows that he's following her and something bad will happen to her.
Yes, like even though you won't be able to see his identity, you'll still be able to know it's him because of the stuff he wears.
And how we like represent him,
and how
in the beginning
in the camera
scenes.
and editing, camera angles, that will really show the audience who he is.
Yeah. I think that's it.
That's a good amount of props